Lights up, sound check, crowd in the zone. Chaos awake and we set the tone. Mischief lurking, beats collide. Stream is live, it's a wild ride. Every breath rising, fire in the chest. Divine lunatics put the night to the test. Laugh strike sharp, cut through the flame. Legends are born, remember the name.
Hands up, feel the rush ignite. Energy burning, no end in sight. Every laugh, every spark, every flame. Divine mischief calling your name.
Stream is started,
Chaos ascending,
mischief alive, never ending. Fun exploding,
the vibe so true.
the fire ignites inside of you.
Oi, look who's rocked up. It's only the Cookie Monster himself. The legend, the myth. Now listen here. Cooking, we're fresh out of Wild Turkey 101. Beans and potatoes. So don't go rummaging. But don't worry, we've got hobnobs and Jaffa cakes to keep you busy. Just don't munch on the mic, yeah? We don't want crumbs in the soundboard. Welcome to the stream, Cookie Legend.
Chaos within, we're put to the test. Fun runs wild, fear takes flight. We own this stage, we burn the night.
Stream is started,
Chaos ascending,
mischief alive, never ending. Fun exploding,
the vibe so true.
the fire ignites inside of you. Piano strikes like thunder above. Self-distorted echo, galactic shove. Crowd electrified, faces glow. Divine lunatics steal the show. Jump scares, dropping tensions high. Chaos spreads out like flames in the sky. Fun everlasting, mischief divine. Legends are carved in rhythm and rhyme.
Raise your voice, let the chaos fly. Every moment etched in the sky. No turning back, no fading away. We burn this stream till the break of day.
Stream is started,
Chaos ascending,
mischief alive, never ending. Fun exploding,
the vibe so true.
the fire ignites inside of you. Bassline heavy, guitars cut deep. The crowd awakens from endless sleep.
Divine, look who just rolled in.
Hello, monkey.
It's the Pitster!
You ruined it. You ruined it and I'm leaving.
Go ahead and roll one and sit back and relax, brother. Welcome to the stream, Pity.
Orchestra surging, strings combine. Legends forever, burning in time.
Take this moment, hold it tight. We blaze together into the night. Voices echo, storm unfurl. Divine lunatics shake the world.
Stream is started,
Chaos ascending,
mischief alive,
never ending.
fun exploding.
The vibe so true.
The fire ignites inside Curtains fall, no silence here. Chaos forever in atmosphere. Divine lunatics, legends declared. Fun and fire, always shared. Every laugh, every tear, every flame. Branded eternal in chaos name. Stream alive, the anthem cries. Chaos eternal, it never dies. Light still slow, echoes remain. Chaos forever runs through the vein. Stream may pause, but the spark survives until the next call. The stream's alive. No silence falls, no calm in sight. We carved our names in endless night. Divine lunatics, legends declared. Fun, laughs, and vibes. We came prepared.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, it's that time. We are just going to get into this. Trying a new one. Oh, yeah. Stanley Parable. You know, it's always interesting when you do something. Current time, 5:04. We'll make it 5:05. Hope everybody's having a great day. Cookie Monster, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining us. Pity, welcome. I hope you're having a great day as well. Welcome to the stream. It's always a pleasure to have you all here. We are going to get this thing done, started. We're going to see if we can get the computer to have a meltdown.
Lizard, 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 lizard.
Oh, God, the lizard. The lizard. Oh, my. Exploring game, huh? Oh, yeah, Pity. Thank you, Cookie. Appreciate that. Hope you enjoyed your beans. Yeah, cherry wasabi.
Well, no shit, Sherlock. Next
Chroma.
time, maybe leave the phone out of the bath. Genius.
Welcome to the stream of Chroma. Thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to see you. You're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate. Oh God, that's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Well, of course they're correct. And oh gosh,
How'd that get in there?
how did that get in there? I put it there. Thank you for that, Cookie. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see the screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick up whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. All right, I'll let you back into the video game now. Wow. Okay, I see. Okay, we are going to make this game have a meltdown. Let's begin. The end is never. The end is never. The end is never. The end is loading.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427.
427.
Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every
Okay, we're gonna
moment of
pause the
the
music
orders
for
came
this.
in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
God.
And Stanley was happy.
Until.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Wow.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Really? Come on. Can we not? What's the D24? What's the D24? Who's all right? You got 11 on the D20. What's the D24? Chroma. Thank you for that. Oh gosh. Oh, D12.
Excuse me.
Well, you got 11.
I've grown quite weary.
Panda, thank you for that.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All right. The likelihood that you will quit this game. You know, I have to say, the movement is actually really smooth. So this reminds me, hey, Pity, this reminds me of Battlefield. How smooth the movement is. Game on, Resilia. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing today? Yeah, the movement on this is incredibly smooth. I like this. It reminds me of playing Battlefield. And the Return to Castle Wolfenstein as well. I hate Mondays. I'm good. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. Whoa. Someone left a hose.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
All right, Chroma. Let's see. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Forklift. Forklift. Come on, let me drive the forklift, damn it.
That's her, Stanley. You need
4-2.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley.
Wow.
I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. Sorry, but you're in my story now.
I don't want to go inside.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
No, I don't want to push V. I don't want to push V. Let me out. Everything but P. I'll push
Look at
V.
him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
That sounds like an
But
everyday
in his mind,
event.
in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Jeez.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Pete spent time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
M to prepare dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations.
Look,
Down
the kitchen
one
turned
path lay
into
an enormous round room
body cabinets.
with monitors and mind controls. And
The
down
TV
another was a
disappeared with the
yellow
clock.
line that weaved in many directions, and down another was a game with a baby, and he called it the Stanley Parable.
Tell your kids a story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and
What
so
else
in his
changed?
head he relived it again, and then again, and again,
Another
over
table.
and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
G, to tell your wife you love her.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has.
Look, the desk
Nothing has
showed up.
changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Everything's changing on me. No. No.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Okay.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself?
Wow.
How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Press R to question
I
nothing.
suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see.
Nope.
Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button.
Wow.
And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Yeah, I pushed the button. The end is loading. Holy cow.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nope.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
We're gonna have the computer have a meltdown. Definitely have a
Wow.
meltdown.
Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions,
Yep.
It's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room,
Wonder
and
if we
Stanley
can-
knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Is there any more?
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death.
I don't think the
Good
computer's
job,
gonna stop me. It's just gonna keep
Everyone
it in
thinks
this
you are
loop.
very powerful. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All right, we'll go to the meeting room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
All right.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker? Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passively aggressively on other coworkers. Slides to ensure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on the text. You must have all. Wow. Number of slides on this slide. Slides, charts, charts, and slides. Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. Increase in graphs per slide. Wow. No more charts, please. I'm begging. Boss appreciation minute on your boss appreciation worksheet. Cycle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Fill out the in triplicate and return to your boss appreciation. Finding someone in conflict with another diligent employee like yourself, but more inclined towards conflict unless you're the yeah, too fast. Wow. Let's see. Don't get fired. Look at these charts. Look at this. Synergize core value expenditures, shift global market, monetize free to play. What do people want? Things. More money, things, but with money to buy more things. Graphs about things and money. We have our new product. Wow. Standard graphs 40 times wide. Not cost efficient. Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets on the topic. Wow. Let's see. Tomorrow, complete today's unfinished agenda items. Write next day's agenda. Reflect. Oh, here we go. Employee 417, 405, 491, 416, 431, Jim. Why does it say Jim? Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. R.I.P. fonts. Weekly review. Pranking floors meeting or floor 5 meeting. What to do about 432. Don't tell 432 about the meeting. Office party. Termination Tuesday. Oh my god. Weekly target. This is crazy. Room closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, we're gonna go downstairs. Oh,
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment
Yep.
for no reason at all.
good for
None
them.
of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply
Uh-oh.
repeating?
Oh,
Stanley
nice.
said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue.
Panda!
He just hadn't found the words for it.
Thank you so much for the
"I'm
raid.
dreaming," he yelled. "This is all a dream."
Welcome.
Oh, what a
And
relief
welcome,
Stanley
Raiders.
felt
Thank
to
you,
have
Panda.
finally
Appreciate
found
it.
An answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his
Here
job.
comes Cookie.
He wasn't crazy after all. And thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real life.
Welcome. Thank you both for the raid. I do appreciate it.
While I'm still lucid. So,
Hope
he
you all
imagined
had a great
himself
time.
flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he
Lizard,
imagined himself
lizard,
soaring
lizard,
through
lizard,
space on a
lizard,
magical
lizard,
starfield,
lizard, lizard,
and it
lizard.
took
More
off. It was
lizards.
so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not
Lizard.
woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all.
Thank you for that,
entered
Cookie.
Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner.
We're making the computer
Why
have a
is there
meltdown.
voice in my head dictating
got a
everything
quarter.
that I'm doing
I
and
got a
thinking.
rock.
Now the voice was describing itself.
It was
being
good
considered
stream
by
and
Stanley,
good luck with
who
this
found it
game. You will
particularly
rage quit.
strange. I'm dreaming about a voice.
Hey,
describing
hey,
me,
Cookie.
thinking about
Before you
how it's
go,
describing my thoughts,
so
he thought.
I went through OBS and I cleared out a bunch of stuff, and I was running at 60 to 70% CPU usage on OBS.
How could it be?
I got rid of some
Was
stuff,
Stanley simply
and now I'm
deceiving
running
himself,
15
believing that if
to
he's asleep,
20%
he doesn't have
CPU
to take
usage.
responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing
Got
the
all my
voice
stuff back,
speaking,
so I'm
that
happy.
was quite a
Awesome,
shock to
Panda.
Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars?
Yeah, I
just a
done
moment
mine
ago?
not too long.
How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream.
We're
So
going
he
to make the
closed his
computer have a
eyes
meltdown.
gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job.
Yeah, I also went
All I
through
want
the
is my
bot
life
app as well and
exactly the
cleared
way
out a
it's
bunch of
always
stuff.
been. My life is normal.
I still
I
haven't
am
updated
normal.
it yet.
Everything will be fine.
I got to back it up and then go ahead and update it.
I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
It's a loop.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Welcome, new follower.
Whispering
Mariella
Witchcraft.
woke up on a
Welcome
day
to the
like
stream.
another.
Hope you're having a great day.
She
Thank you so
rose,
much
got
for
dressed,
joining us.
gathered her
And thank you for the
belongings,
follow.
and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind.
Ah, yes.
I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better.
What is
But then
wrong
she remembered the
with
meeting
you
she had
people?
scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her
I
would
thought
affect
you were
her
supposed to
career,
be
and by
friends.
extension, the rest of her life.
Wow.
She had no
Ah,
time for this,
Cookie,
so
thank
it
you
was
for that.
only a moment that she stood there,
I appreciate
staring
that.
down at the body, and then she turned and ran.
Oh, my. I'm going to make this computer have a meltdown.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, well.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him.
Okay,
And so
so
the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
jeez. What did I get myself into? Uh-oh. It's loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job.
Blah, blah,
Why
blah.
did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Whoops, no, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out. Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat. Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Wait, there's more.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor, won't he? Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
No, we're just gonna have you have a meltdown. Yeah, that's it.
Oh my God, it's the boss's office. This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
Please hold. Wow. I'll be right back, everybody. Hang in there. We'll return shortly.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process. All right, I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
I'm a Gen X gamer born in the pixel age. From the arcades to streaming, I'm turning the page. Got my roots in retro games, but I'm streaming live. With friends and chat, we're ready to thrive. The screen lights up, the chat's on fire. We're laughing and playing, our hearts climb higher. Controllers in hand, the jokes start to roll in this gaming realm. We're on a joyful stroll. From 8-bit legends to today's high-res dreams, we're making magic with our gaming schemes. Every laugh and every cheer's a reminder that we're all here. I'm a Gen X gamer, the night's alive. In the chat, the jokes and the vibes collide. With friends by my side, we're on this drive. Streaming and laughing with hearts open wide. From retro phase to the modern stage, we're gaming together, page by page. I'm a Gen X gamer and the fun's just begun. With laughs and friends, we're second to none. From the old school cartridges to the latest gear, we're navigating worlds with nothing to fear. Chat's got the puns and the fun's on cue. In the streaming life, it's all brand new. Every game we play, every challenge we meet, it's made better with friends and chat so sweet. We're crafting memories one stream at a time. In this digital adventure, we're in our prime. From arcade heroes to virtual quest, we're living the dream, we're feeling blessed. Every moment shared, every story told, is a treasure in this world we hold. I'm a Gen X gamer, the night's alive. In the chat, the jokes and the vibes collide. With friends by my side, we're on this drive. Streaming and laughing with hearts open wide. From retro phase to the modern stage, we're gaming together, page by page. I'm a Gen X gamer and the fun's just begun. With laughs and friends, we're second to none. From the arcade lights to the streaming screens, the love for gaming is in our genes. Chat's full of humor, the friends are near. In this gaming world, we've got no fear. The hours roll on with each friendly cheer. We're making memories year after year. From classic hits to the latest trends, we're here together making amends. I'm a Gen X gamer, the night's alive. In the chat, the jokes and the vibes collide. With friends by my side,
Okay, we're back. Man, it is raining cats and dogs right now. Wow, pity. That's crazy.
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing.
Well, I
had
hope
never
you're
been
doing well
attempted
today, Pity.
before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it.
I'm going to try to
That's
have
just
this
how
computer have a
revelatory
meltdown.
Stanley's decision-making is a breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive.
He wants me to push buttons. I'm pushing buttons.
You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator, but the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises?
So, Pity, I
to
was
have to
saying
think
earlier, I
and
don't
to
know if you heard me,
anticipate
but
and then to marvel at the
movement
eventual
of this
reveal.
feels like
This
Battlefield
is
and Return to Castle
storytelling,
Wolfenstein, how
Stanley.
smooth
What
it is.
you and I are doing right now, this is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years. And it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better. Oh, good, we're here.
Oh.
Okay, the room where we're holding the press conference should be just around the corner here somewhere.
All eyes on Stanley.
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door. All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get 'em.
Nope. Doing great. The conversation with Alexander the Great. Wow. Wow.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Wow.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Let's keep this up.
Whoops, nope, never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out. Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow! I'm bolted to the edge of my seat. Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this?
Oh my gosh.
Surely this time Stanley will walk forward into the spooky corridor. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
All right, I won't walk forward. I'll walk backwards. Oops, I fell.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Stanley's computer. Oh, this is cool. Kevin Brightening as the narrator. Scenes from the development. Wow. Narration outtakes. Wow. Actually, it's pretty cool. The developers added all this in. I'll tell you, I like the Stanley Parable as much as I like seeing it. How do you type with boxy gloves on? What do the lights in the control room do? I really want to know. Jeez. Wow. Okay, let's go find the room. It's interesting the devs put this much stuff into this, you know?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
There we go.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
He didn't want to. He didn't want to wait.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley
Crazy.
thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
We just keep on tracking.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
The numbers are here.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Awaiting input.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted?
Yep.
Control? Oh, Stanley, well, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Oh, gosh.
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation, then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going. What all this means, I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're going to die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless, to see you made humble. This is not a challenge, it's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after. Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
Just go.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all. And when at last he found the blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
That's just funny. Of course, we start over.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Oh my gosh. All right, I think I'm done with this game. All right, we're going to get out of here. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you so much for joining us today. I do appreciate it. Until next time, y'all have a great night. Enjoy the music, and we'll see you soon. See you, everybody.
Yeah, divine lunatics in the spot tonight. Chaos